Because what's happened is we've been indoctrinated through religion, through the customs and traditions of America. So therefore, we don't know our God. We don't know our history. We don't know our heritage. We don't know our culture. So when we see each other, we see Negroes, we see blacks, we see Hispanic, we see nothing. You understand? But God calls us everything. Watch this, read it again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Wherefore the Lord said.
What?
Wherefore the Lord said.
We didn't say this, God did. Read.
For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
With our mouth we say, I love God. I love God with all my heart. I go and serve him with all my soul. That's what we say out of our mouth. Come on.
And with their lips do honor me.
Come on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
Hold that, give me the heart. Mark chapter 7, verse 21. Because first of all, the heart is just a vessel that pumps blood within our body. This is not what God's talking about. The heart is a metaphor for the mind.
Bring it out.
Watch, come on.
The book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21.
Come on.
For from within.
From what?
For from within.
Come on.
Out of the heart of men.
Come on.
Proceed evil thoughts.
Evil thoughts. Thoughts come from the mind. Thoughts come from the brain.
Right.
You see? So we're reading the scriptures. What's your name, sis?
Audrey.
Audrey. Good to meet you, Audrey. So Audrey, what's your nationality, sis?
Hispanic.
Hispanic, right? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God? Okay, you believe in God, right? Okay, do you go to church?
Yes.
Okay, in church, what do they teach you about God and how to love God?
They teach a lot. I don't know. To worship him.
Okay, to worship him, right? Okay, great. To worship him. So now, in church, hold that, give me Malachi 2 and 7. In church, we have certain people of prestige in the churches, right? You got the priests, you have the ministers, you may have deacons, certain men of high stature within the church system. Yours has a bishop, right? So now, watch this. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Read this in Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7, and then I'm gonna ask you another question. We're gonna dialogue, Audrey, okay? Because at the end of the day, our job is to show the truth of the Bible to the people. Because in church, we'll have the Bible there, but I guarantee you, we might get a total of maybe 10 scriptures out of the Bible when you sit up in the church for maybe 5-6 hours. That don't make sense, it don't add up. You see what I'm saying? So watch this, read that.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Come on.
For the priest's lips.
The priest, the minister, the bishop's lips.
Should keep knowledge.
Should keep what?
Knowledge.
Come on.
And they should seek the law.
The people who are listening to the bishops and the priests are supposed to look for. Seek means they're supposed to search out. They're supposed to seek what?
The law at his mouth.
Now, how many bishops, or does your bishop or priest teach the laws of God to the people?
Yes.
Okay. Now, give me Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Now, this is a law of the Bible that God says, right? First, hold that, give me Deuteronomy 1 and 1, and then we'll get 22 and 5. Because the scripture said that the priest's lips is supposed to keep knowledge. So, what's your name, bro? Big bro? How you doing, brother Scott? What's your name? Ishmael? Okay, good. What's your nationality? What's your nationality? Mexican, right? Audrey, you said you're Hispanic, right? So Hispanic means property in Spain. Mexican means center of the moon. Neither one of those is your nationality. Those are just names that was given to your ancestors when you were conquered. And when we were born, we just took them on because that's what our parents said.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But they received the same thing because that's what their parents said.
Right, bring it out.
You see what I mean? So who taught that to them? Our oppressors. That's who taught that to them, and we carried it on as a cycle, right? So listen to this, Ishmael, listen to this, Audrey. Read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
So we're going to read the audience, and we're going to read the author. The author is Moses, speaking to the children of Israel. Come on.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
And you've heard the Bible story of Exodus, the Exodus, the part in the Red Sea, right? You heard that story, Moses. Huh? You started going to church. Okay, so I'm going to fill you in on a little bit of history. The children of Israel had hard bondage and oppression in Egypt, and they cried out to God. They were there for 100 years. And God said, I'm going to deliver you. And when I deliver you out of Egypt from hard bondage, I'm going to make you a great people. Hispanic too. Hispanic. So watch this. God said, he's going to make us, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, a great people, right? And this is what he said. Watch this. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Come on.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So God gave instructions to Moses to give to the children of Israel on how to lead and guide their lives, right? So they can be great among all people. Now give me Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Here's the law. And then we're going to go back to the priest. Do you go to church, Ishmael? Sometimes. I'm glad you don't go to church. Because I'm telling you, what they taught us is lies, Audrey. Because guess what? You say you just started going, right? You know why? Because oftentimes we're like, I know I'm not living right, something not right with my life. I'm having all these things and issues happening in my life. I need to be close with God. I need somebody that can teach me how to be close with God to get my life right? So oftentimes we think, where's the best place to go? To church, right? But watch them, give a law that your priest is supposed to give you, and then I'm gonna go back to the solutions to our issues. Watch this, come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
So the book of Deuteronomy, who was Moses talking to, Audrey? To who? Okay, go back again.
Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Listen to this, Ishmael, watch this.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who spoke? All the Israelites, right?
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5.
Come on.
The woman
Uh-huh.
shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garments. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Go back to Malachi 2 and 7, then we're going to come back. So, these be the words that Moses spake to all the Israelites,
That's
right?
Bring it out.
Now watch this. Read this again.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips
When you go to the church, your priest, your pastors, your bishop's lips
should keep knowledge,
should be teaching our people knowledge. Come on.
and they should seek the law.
The knowledge, Ishmael, that we're supposed to be getting from our priests and our bishops is going to be what?
The law.
That's the knowledge we're supposed to be getting from the churches. We should be seeking the laws of God
At his mouth.
at the mouth of the bishop or the priest. You understand that? Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 22.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
The woman shall not wear.
So, shall not, is that a suggestion or is that a commandment or a law? That's a law, right? And when he says thou shalt, is that a suggestion or a commandment or a law? It's a commandment, it's a law, right? Read it again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Come on,
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
come on.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So Ishmael, what's a woman's garment that God says he commands? That's a law that the priest is supposed to be teaching. What article of clothing that men are not supposed to wear?
Man, it's gonna be different.
Okay, give me one. Watch this, watch this. Read from the top. Watch this, Audrey.
Dress?
Wait, what?
A dress?
You said a dress. I guess a dress, right? But think about this. Do you have on a dress? Do we have on a dress? You see, because it's not natural for us to wear dresses. Because God didn't make for men to wear dresses. He gave that to the woman. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
And you know why sometimes we're like, I guess, I'm not sure. Because this is what has been brought to us in America as something normal. That's not normal. God never ordained for men to wear dresses. You see what I'm saying? But you see the rappers doing it, right? The athletes doing it. You see what I'm saying? So when we look at them, they're our leaders. We look at them as icons and models to model our lives after. That's not of God. But watch this. Come on.
The woman
Come on.
shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So just like a man ain't supposed to wear dresses, what are women not supposed to wear, Audrey? Huh?
Jeans?
What?
Jeans?
Pants. Right? Do you agree with that, Audrey? Huh? Oh, yeah, but they go. Yeah, but see, that's what they teach us, right?
Yeah.
But think about this.
We're supposed to wear dresses.
So think about this. Your grandmother. Had your grandmother ever wore pants before? Okay. How about when you were little? Did you see your grandmother in pants when you were little? Your great grandmother?
I never met her.
Have you seen pictures of any of your ancestors, your aunts, aunties, grandparents, anybody of the family that's women wearing pants?
They were not real girls. Oh, they do wear a lot of dresses. Like, a lot of good dresses.
So I'm sharing with you. Women wearing pants only came about in the 50s. Well, actually, yeah, about the late 50s, early 60s, right? This is when the men went out to war. Okay? And then the women were left here with the children working factory jobs. You know what I'm saying? Working hard labor jobs. And then the women were wearing, in those jobs, they were wearing pants. You see what I'm saying? Because they couldn't wear long flowing dresses because they would get caught up in the machines, things like that, they would get injured, right? So then they would put on overalls. You see what I'm saying? To cover. So what happened is, now those women, when the men came back from war, the women are like, well, listen, I've gone this long without y'all here surviving for myself, so really, anything you can do, I can do better.
Right.
I can do anything better than you. That's what they did. You see what I'm saying? So the women end up making themselves equal to the man. But guess what? That was the so-called white woman going against the white man. So-called black and Hispanic women, we didn't have that issue.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But what happened was Caucasian women said, hey, this is my sister. We need women's rights and women's independence. We can be great just like the men. Guess what? Go put on these pants. Because guess what? You're just like a man. You're equal. You're 50-50 to a man. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? Give me the law and scripture. Give me that in Romans. Because what happens is this. When you see a man put on a dress or a skirt, you know what I'm saying? What type of how does he carry himself? Do you see? Like feminine, right? You're not gonna see really a man in a dress and a skirt and he walking around. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have more of a switch to it. He gonna be super feminine, right? He goes above and beyond. You see men that wear drag and stuff like that, that dress like women, they act way more feminine than real women do.
That's right.
You see? Well, watch this. Read this scripture.
The book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Listen to this, Audrey. Listen to what God says.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
The laws of God is spiritual. So when a man does something against God's laws, like wearing a dress, that puts on a feminine spirit on the man. Likewise, when a woman puts on something that don't pertain to the women, like pants, what type of spirit does it put on a woman? A masculine spirit. Now the woman can say, what? Go get your own sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't need, I can do bad all by myself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She chest bumping with the man. Yeah. Now watch this. What woman do you know of royalty wear pants? None. You see what I mean? When a woman goes to get married, what does she put on? A dress. A dress. You see how simple that is? Because that's normal. You see? But in American culture, American society, they told us cross-dress change. That's why you see a changing of kind these days. That's why you see homosexuality so rampant today. And what that does is that it limits the procreation of man and woman, the black and Hispanic households. That's why our households are in such disarray. Now we're raising our young men to be feminine. You see what I'm saying? And raising the young women to be masculine. Switching. Now give me that change of kind. And 1 Corinthians. Yep. Give me that. Because what happened is now when that's pushed and pressed to our society, now we can't build as a people. You get what I'm saying? Now we're going completely contrary to the way God made us. God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Right? He wanted the man to lead and raise the household, and the woman are going to follow. The children are going to follow them. But all things is all out of order, is all out of course. You see what I'm saying? Watch the matter of fact. Hold that. Give me Revelation chapter 22. No, give me Revelation 14 and 12. Watch this. So, Audrey, the whole purpose that you go to church to try to rebuild your spirit, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to see heaven, right? You want to go to the kingdom of heaven, right? You want salvation. Okay. Watch this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints.
Come on.
Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
So in order to get the kingdom of heaven, you have to keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So, what was one commandment that we just read about a woman in the kingdom? I'm sorry. The law, right? Okay, now watch this. Go back to Deuteronomy 22 and 5, and then give me Zephaniah. Give me Deuteronomy 22 and 5 first. So listen carefully, Audrey. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Now, Does the priest or the pastor or the bishop read this in the church?
Yeah, I think so.
Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that.
You see what I'm saying? But that's a law. And remember we said the priest's lips shall keep knowledge, and we should seek the law at their mouth. That's why when you go into the churches, you see women dressed out of order, men dressed out of order, because the priests and the pastors are not teaching the laws of God. You see what I'm saying? That's why, I'm sorry. Yeah, read that real quick. And then we'll go with Isaiah 29.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 8.
Watch this.
And it shall come to pass.
Now, Audrey said it shall come to pass. I mean, it's not happening now, but it's a guarantee in the future. This is going to happen. Come on.
In the day of the Lord's sacrifice.
When Christ returned, because you believe he's coming back, right? Jesus is coming back. And when he returns, come on.
That I will punish the princes.
He will what?
I will punish the princes.
He's going to hand out balloons and hugs and lollipops.
I will punish the princes.
So he said when Christ returned, he's not coming to play with anybody. He's coming to bring punishment upon those who will not keep the laws of God. That's right. Come on.
And the king's children.
The king's children are us, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Come on.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
So what would be considered clothed with strange apparel? Something opposite of what the law just said. You see what I'm saying? So what we don't realize is that the pastors and the priests of all these churches are leading our people to damnation. And we don't even know it.